filter microplastics out of our water. This invention earned them $50,000 at the Regeneron International Science and Engineering Competition. Everybody say hi and thank you to Justin and Victoria. Give it up. Welcome to the show. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. This is incredible. Before we talk about the device, explain what microplastics are for them, because I totally know.
Yeah. So microplastics, as the name implies, they're tiny little pieces of plastic less than 5 millimeters in length. And there are two different categories. We have primary, which means they enter into the environment already as that small size. So you can think of it like the manufactured microbeads in your cosmetic products. Okay. But a majority of microplastics are actually secondary, which means they enter into the environment like your plastic bottles, your bags, and then the wind and water break them down. So we're left with these tiny little particles. And then once they enter into our oceans, they get everywhere. Fish could eat them, and then when we eat the fish, that's how they end up into our bodies. And of course, there's many different adverse health effects that come with these microplastics. Yeah. It's estimated that the average American ingests about 0.1 to 5 grams of microplastics every week.
Gross.
Yeah, that's definitely something we didn't.
We're poisoning ourselves. Wow.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah. So there's been studies showing that they can enter into our body tissues or our organs. They can also absorb heavy metals, which is obviously bad for us, and then into our bodies. That's something we definitely don't want.
In the Pacific Ocean, there's a bunch of plastic and trash and debris. A lot of the Asian countries, they don't have a lot of environmental awareness. As they get more and more educated, then they become more environmentally aware, and then they have more long-term planning, so then they litter less. That's the hope. Right now, there's big islands of like floating debris in the Pacific Ocean, and then it chokes like baby sea turtles and affects whales and whatnot. So it's sad and disappointing. And then even more practically, the plastics, they affect us, right? So if you have polyester, I believe, or other synthetic garments that you wear, it can get absorbed into your skin, which is probably not good. You don't want synthetic plastics like oil products being soaked and baked into your skin. I used to use, I think it's like a type of lip balm, and then it had petroleum in it, and somebody was like, bro, that's not good for you. So I had to switch over to a different type of chapstick. And with men, if they get this plastic absorbed into their body, then their scrotum isn't able to produce as high quality semen. So then, yeah, you shouldn't blink, brother.
Oh my gosh. Well, what made you both want to tackle this issue?
Yeah, so we're going to take a trip down memory lane all the way back to 6th grade. Both Victoria and I had the same science
Which was
teacher.
Not that long
okay,
ago.
Yeah.
From the 43-year-old.
Okay. I mean, okay, I guess for us, right? It was like, she really inspired us to care about the environment, about how we only have one planet, but she also inspired us to kind of use our curiosity, use STEM, in order to kind of solve these problems, right? And what really hit that home was whenever she showed us a documentary. It was titled Science Fair, and it was about, well, science fair, right? The International Science and Engineering Fair, and it really spoke to us how there were so many high schoolers out there that were doing what they were passionate about and also making a difference in the process. So that's kind of something that we wanted to do and what brought us here today.
You're so cool. How did you come up with this?
So microplastics are everywhere, right? And what inspired us to kind of choose this topic specifically also goes back all the way to 6th grade. I had my first science project, and that's when I found out about plastic pollution. And I first heard about the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, which is 2 times the size of Texas, you know?
It's so gross.
Yeah, so coming from Texas, I'm pretty familiar with how large the state is, and that kind of made me realize, wow, this is a problem that affects you, me, and everyone around the world. So for how we came up with this, the EPA currently doesn't monitor microplastics. Well, they don't regulate it, actually. And so when we went to visit our local water treatment plant, we asked them, are you familiar with this topic? And they hadn't really heard about it before. And so we wanted to find a solution.
This is incredible. You have the device here. So how does it work?
Yeah, so essentially, as you can see here, these are stainless steel tubes, right? And then these are transducers that are attached. And how it works is that these will connect to an outside power source that will generate electric impulses and send it to the transducers.
Okay.
And inside of here, there are a bunch of crystals that when they have the electric impulses, they'll vibrate. And ultrasound is just really, really high frequency sound waves. So once the sound is created, any water with microplastics that we'll have on this side will push it through the system, and the sound waves will block the microplastics from passing through, but water is able to go through the other side. So anything that comes out is clean water.
People scan people's bodies with ultrasound, and then they use the same technique to create something else, which is separating microplastics out of water. It's like they see patterns.